I want people to understand that there is a difference between professionals or people deemed to be professionals acting professionally and being motivated by their nationalist thoughts, and how you know that they are a part of nationalism, and how you know that they are, in fact, nationalists. It is because their position is their shield of injustice. No matter what it is, any public official abusing their authority is a crime. Any public official getting away with abusing their authority by law enforcement, it is a crime and a cover-up. Because we expect on law enforcement to adhere to the laws and regulations and to uphold the law for each of us citizens, especially those that are not criminal, and doing our best to stay on the right side of the law. But what I am seeing, what I have discovered, and what I have experienced in America is that the police themselves, the very people we expect and we are supposed to entrust to call for assistance, are the very people who are inducing the hostile environment, are the very people that are exacerbating the hostile environments that you are in when you're calling them for assistance. Now, that is a deprivation of due process. It is a negligence on the part of people who have taken on a position and a role to do something that they have decided once they've gotten the position they no longer want. They don't feel they have to do. Well, I'm a nationalist. I believe in nationalism. And because I have this position and I have the authority of my current president, I can go out here and I can profile people and I can use all their information I know about them and gather all their belongings, and I can steal it like we've been doing the way we created those forfeiture laws so that we can steal from blacks and Indians and Latinos and anyone other than ourselves. And even if we wanted to steal from ourselves. Because see, the thing is, once you start stealing, you don't really always know who you're stealing from. Especially when it becomes such a natural pattern of behavior. And we do know that this is a natural pattern of behavior for our system to make and take so many systematic approaches to make so much money off of citizens that it does not want to serve, protect, or provide any servicing or programming for. We have a system that would rather provide programming and servicing and all massive resourcing to dope fiends and white drug addicts, when we know they do not need the programming, the resources. People who are drug abusers, drug addicts, dope fiends, those people are going to use their pussy, they're going to use their ass cracks and their throats to get that money, to keep that high going, because the thing is that your resources, your supplements, is not going to cover their drug habits that they have and that they're addicted to, and they need those drugs all day, every fucking day. But their ass cracks and their vaginas and their throats is going to ensure that they can keep that drug flow going. It is a mutual trading thing with drugs. And so when you're using your body as a resource to provide for yourself, you're already at an advantage that another person is not at, that does not use their body to make money off of it, to survive. And so for those people, it is so important for them to be able to depend on a system when they have to go and encounter the system, depend on the system, transition through the system, that the system, in fact, should work for those people. Not people who are going to remain in transit for 20, 30, 40 years of a drug addiction by choice. They are choosing to abuse themselves. They are choosing to break the law. And here you are, we have these white people with this double standards. Well, it's okay for us to break the law. It's okay for us to do drugs. It's okay for us to sell drugs. It's not okay for anyone other than white people to sell drugs or make money or profit off of drugs. It's not okay for anyone other than white people to use drugs. And it's not okay for anyone else other than white people to utilize the federal funding, money, and all of our programming system and our services for their own benefits, for their abusive benefits at that. They don't really utilize programming in healthy mannerism. They really do abuse it. Even white nurses, they're in there stealing their patients' drugs all day long, trying to find a black nurse to put that shit on to affect her license. So I won't work with you motherfucking savages. Observe you way too well in clinicals. And so we have nurses and doctors stealing patients' bodily fluids, stealing people's organs, even in some cases, stealing people's healthcare information and sharing it with other haters for the sole purpose of malice, to induce harm in the lives of these people, to strip these people of their joy, of their pursuit of happiness, of their liberty and their right to preserve those private, vulnerable things about themselves. You know, you share things about yourself with healthcare providers because you want, I believe you have to be as honest as possible for them to actually help you be healthy. And what I'm learning is that that's not really why they got you coming here. It's all a part of the white man's nationalist movement of monitoring the lives of others, invading and intruding upon the privacies of others, having access to our property, having access to where we live, having access to our children, because when you want to hurt or terrorize a person, it is so much easier when you have already been given so much information and intel on these groups of people, your targeted groups. And one thing that we do know is that policing isn't what it used to be. We don't see great detective work. We don't see wonderful investigations. Police don't even do their fucking job anymore. They put everything, oh, it's civil, it's civil. So why are you killing people in civil matters then? But then when someone's having an issue with a white corporation, a white business, a white public official, you're telling, oh, take them to court, you got to go to civil matters. Because what they're doing is they're dismissing us, is ignoring our needs, they're completely neglecting them. And they're sending us through their system of going up something they call a channel. You have to go up the channel of command first. Because they know that it's exhausting. They know that many people are going to be discouraged. And they know that the process of even dealing with them is very discouraging because they never provide you the real, honest, accurate answers. They give you the runaround. That is the culture of white people. And it is time that we stop playing this game with a delusional culture of people. If they cannot accept who they are and their behavior, something is wrong with them. If you think the way that your president is behaving, if you think the way that you are behaving, it is acceptable, it is okay in 2017 when you have spent the last 40 or 50 years trying to convince black people that it's all fair game for them to. And that any black people who believe it's not, it's something wrong with them. Well, you're fucking fools, and so are those dumbass blacks and other coloreds that listen to you. Manipulate the fuck out of them while you planned on killing them and their children and stealing their property from them. People, don't be fooled by your military status either. You better learn your position and understand they do not straddle the fence. Soldiers, stop straddling the fence for people who do not really give a fuck about you. Yes, you can get good housing. Yes, you have your honorable discharge after. Yes, if your mind didn't get fucked up and you actually didn't have to fight a war. But for the rest of those real soldiers who were out there in combat, reality is quite different for them. And what the fuck have their country done for them lately? What have their country provided them? And so what I say is that we all need to start to understand there's a very big problem that is trickling down into the homes of each of us, regardless of color. There is a problem in American society, a very hateful, racist problem that is affecting every part of our life, and especially democracy, because they are doing away with it. You have a group of people that are not that intelligent. You have a group of people that want to utilize something for their benefit and only understand and interpret the part that is to their benefit, just like they used to do back in the days and cult leaders with the damn Bible. You cannot trust people like that. Okay? When police is criminalizing and conspiring against citizens and stealing citizens' vehicles, that is criminalizing them. It is denying them due process. It is depriving them the right to have and to protect their own property and to utilize all of their property and their belongings. You can't just take someone's stuff and go commingle it amongst someone else and say, oh, I destroyed it and that's just a final answer and that just must be sufficient for you. Would you accept an answer like that about yourself? White people don't accept answers like that. They cry over even smaller things. I mean, they complain over things that don't even have anything really to do with them. They cry because they want to go from a fucking boy to a girl, or a man with 5 kids to a fucking woman in a matter of minutes, and cry about their rights being violated if you don't allow that. So what the fuck is you delusional people's problem to think you can steal from people, that you can induce a dangerous, deadly situation for citizens who have children, and that it's okay? It's a laughable matter. It's a dismissible matter. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Oh, because I know my white friends and my white people, they're in the courthouse, and there are police and Sheriff Hills and Mark Caruso and all these fucking crooks who are not upholding the law. If you do not know the United States Constitution, and if you are not in the position to be there, to be giving equitable justice to all, not just always a one-sided situation, or trying to manipulate people into using your legal aid services so that you can funnel money from the federal government for them, but never actually provide that person anything. It's not really called pro bono people. Understand, those people are getting funding, okay? Oh, everyone makes money off the poor so that they can live a middle-class life at least. But the poor just remains poor without an American dream. Unless you're so great and you're so outspoken and just so outgoing, and you're just going to go out there and just sacrifice and just be all about you, like your condition, so that you can make it. Because that's what they left you. But for the rest of us that want to be there with their children, they don't want to leave them behind, that want to make those dreams come true with their children, and they don't have a supporter, no damn full-time child care nor assistance from their government or any family or friend, that's a problem. No one should ever, ever, ever be taking anything from that free citizen. No one should ever be depriving such a free citizen of their rights. What I don't understand is, why do these people treat people how they don't want to be treated? Have the thinnest skin on earth. The thinnest skin on earth. Because as soon as you say something about them, wherever their position is, they're not going to do their job. They are going to hurt you because you came in contact with them, because they had encountered you, because they've been able to use their position to intrude upon your life or take something from you. They go to the ultimate lengths. But if anyone does anything back to them, if anyone stands up against them, they're fucking crying, complaining, and whining, and utilizing laws that you've never even heard of. But when you ask them about basic laws, or you're just wondering, why aren't you going through a process? Why don't you have to go through a procedure to contact people? Why do the insurance get paid? Okay? When they're not doing any fucking thing to protect your car if someone steals your fucking car off the street. If the number, your VIN number, is on your car, and that VIN number does not do any fucking thing to provide a service to you as a fucking citizen. So if your stuff is stolen off the street by the police, even the police is in trouble. Why isn't there a system intact to protect citizens, the public's best interest, when in fact we are the ones paying into the system and we are the ones being failed? They do not want to work for us. They do not work for us. They are very, very selective and utilize their discretion to do their job when they want to do their job, who they want to do their job for. And what I have realized is 9 out of 10 times, it is only when it's relative to them, when they can really relate with that person. And more than likely, it has to be a person of their color. And that is how you know the difference between the nationalists and the law-abiding professionals. The behavior is not going to be the same. The behavior is not going to be the same. A racist person is always motivated by racist ways, racist resolve, racist dismissal, racist arrogance, racist cover-up, racist dumbass questions, racist statements where they're trying to create a new story, develop a story. Like the sergeant at the Schenectady Police Department. She just starts creating things out of her own mouth. You can't even answer a fucking question, bitch. And you sitting there creating shit. You're trying to develop a story for my story instead of just being fucking honest that you stole my fucking car, that I've come down to the police department and I have asked you people about my property. I've even requested a police report. I have done everything, climbing your channels of commands that you people like to play these fucking mind games with citizens, having citizens do, because all it does is buy up time for you. And it takes time away from the person trying to get to their shit. So by the time someone actually tells them months later where their stuff is, all of a sudden they're also providing, oh, well, you owe us this and you owe them that. And we need to collect all this money. But, oh, yeah, by the way, your property is gone. You're never going to retrieve it back. And everything that was in there as well. Oh, we didn't bother to look at it or touch it. But it's all, that was destroyed as well. Okay, well, you have to be fucking responsible for that, all right? You need to replace everything in it, as well as replace all the thousands that I paid to keep that car in good driving order. And how would you know that the car didn't drive? Unless you tried to start it. And of course you did, because I known all along that you fucking police had my key. But of course I can't prove. And you're the ones that got to go to the complaint about you. And it's always a game. You kept my key. You made me have to go get my ignition replaced and also a new key, and had it reprogrammed. And that is why when you tried to use that key to get in my car and drive my car, it did not drive or start up for you. That was on purpose. Schenectady Police Department. Okay? It was on purpose. Okay? I know better than to trust you people. A key don't just pop up missing after a whole bunch of police and construction workers just keep popping up at someone's house, knocking on the door for her to keep coming outside, and you keep giving me tickets. And I live right there. You're giving me tickets. And about 15 tickets. Entering the home, supposedly to be shutting the heat off. You shut the heat off for months out of the winter. National Grid. And you induce all these circumstances for me. I call the police, go to the police to complain that the landlord turned off the water and the electricity on me and my 3 kids. And I was a bad guy. Well, that's a law, you fuck faces. You're supposed to do a report. You're supposed to make an arrest if the landlord or the landlord's representative turns our water supply off and our electricity, our heat in the winter. Something's wrong with me because I want my children to be living in habitable circumstances, and I'm expected to be paying these white people $900 to be paying their mortgage because they're struggling. Okay? They can't even afford to pay their bills. That's why they rented the place to us. And see, that's just a pattern because they don't mind taking our money. Black people, open up your brain. Use your left side of your brain. Okay? I never had a problem stealing anything from us. It's not the issue. The problem is them letting us and giving us what they had without standing in our way all the time. It's like always walking somewhere and there's a bully standing in your way and pushing you around and telling you something. Who are you? Why don't you go back home where you come from, since you don't know how to get along right here? You should have fucking came here. And let's not forget, these are criminals. These are crooks. Their ancestors historic. Their whole fucking history is of being a fucking terrorist. And here they go, trying to convince the world that other people, everyone else, is this way. We have a person dismantling an entire human services, the greatness that Obama did for this country. We have this fucking derelict dissecting. Obama didn't just think about black people. Matter of fact, he didn't consider us, honestly. He considered people as a whole. Okay? That's a democratic leader. Okay? And when you're fucking working for a democracy, you don't fucking behave as nationalists and local police departments. You don't steal citizens' stuff, deny them to do police reports, deny to tell them where the property is when you receive the fucking facts. So by the time I came to your police department, you already had the facts. I have a copy of it. That's not my fax number, nor was my car yours. I don't share property with the Schenectady Police Department. I don't fucking work for the Schenectady Police Department. Never was employed by the Schenectady Police Department. I can't even get the Schenectady Police Department to work for me as a domestic violence victim. Nor could I even get you to work for me as a citizen whose car was stolen because you fucking stole it. So now it makes great sense. Why are you getting receipts for my vehicle? Why is your name on a receipt for my vehicle from a tow truck company? Because you and the tow truck company conspired after your friends, I guess, Luis De Leyva and Richard Howland. I mean, they're the last white old people who threaten me with law enforcement. And they threaten me because they do something wrong to me. Put me and my kids out without heat. And you people are so fucking backwards and hypocritical and such a fucking contradiction of your own fucking laws. You're right. Fuck those laws. Because terrorists made those motherfucking laws. So those laws don't really fucking matter. And all black people got to do is open up their motherfucking minds. And all the fucking military need to do is start to open up their mind and learn what you're really supposed to be there for. Okay? You're supposed to be there for us. To protect the American people. Not to protect people like number 45. Not protect nationalists. Not to protect law enforcement people that is stealing citizen stuff. You're not there for that. We have a whole corrupt system that people have to come through for health care, and they don't even have anyone to complain to when the marketplace is failing to get health insurance for children. They're taking them off of their health care program, making you reapply, and when you call, you're calling for months, and they're giving you any games because the federal system is documenting things about people. And so they have a system, a database, and they're sharing all that information with agencies that don't provide anything or provide a system that actually discriminates and have lawsuits against citizens. They are providing information to these people that really they shouldn't be privy to. If I have a legal lawsuit against an agency, should I even be going there if this agency has completely destroyed my life so much and distressed me in such at a level that I have lost over 50 pounds? Should I really be forced, bullied, to be consistently placed and induced in such circumstances that I have to go to these people or deal with people who keep denying me services or playing games with me? Oh, well, reapply. Oh, well, oh, apply again. Oh, well. Why are you doing that when there are children involved? And so when you have police who steals a person's car, they're just a part of that. If you take my transportation and you know that that's what I use my car for, every day I drove my children in that car. Every time they had a doctor's appointment, that's the car going back and forth through the tow. Why would you take my transportation, my lifeline, that's what I brought it for me and my children to be able to get to our doctors and to be able to get to the grocery store and to the pharmacy and to places that we need, or for me to fight for health insurance for my two younger children that the government took the health insurance from? Since 45 has been a president profiling people and depriving certain citizens that he deems as free, that he wants to be his slave, depriving us resources without any way of us to fight for those resources for our children. The thing is this: when people need health care is like one of those things, like an emergency need. Okay, when people need health care, they need health care. Okay, for children, they're experiencing things all the time. When you have a doctor's office that's running out of immunization shots and shit like that, you need to make sure your healthcare system is very efficient, because that's all of you holding a negligence on these people, these citizens, and these citizens' children. And so if these children get sick, and then these families now have to deal with sickly children, and then the government just feel all responsibility and also conspire to steal resources from that parent. We're going to take the health insurance. We're not going to provide any food supplements. We're going to steal her money out of her bank accounts. We're going to tell her it was electronically fund transferred. We're going to tell her, because it's been a few months and we didn't receive the paperwork, because there's no way for you to track paperwork, because they're the ones receiving it. They create such a painfully confusing situation, knowing that they're not even competent, intellectual enough to dissect each of these circumstances that their own people have caused for one person. That shit is so confusing and stressful, and I haven't seen a cracker on TV that's been subjected to one fucking thing that I've been subjected to and actually didn't complain. This has to stop. It just has to stop. All the mixed kids in the world ain't changing shit. And it ain't changing nothing because all it is develop a distraction. A diversion from freedom. Because if you believe that you're free, then you don't fight for freedom. And then these people who make you believe that you're free, they are convinced that they have made you believe that. And so they are they're such conspirators and manipulative fucking connivers. They're just, okay, well, we're going to work together. We're going to do this. Take the health insurance. Take the money. Take the car. Take this. The bitch isn't going to be able to move around and fight us back. She's not going to be able to get her kids health care. She's going to be stressed. See, when people have access to things about you, you can do wonders with information. And so that's why I really believe that nobody should ever have anybody's information. Everybody, especially black people, we have the right to keep anything we want from white people. Because you people terrorize our families for hundreds of years. And so you can't make up for that in one lifetime. And you people have to start to deal with the reality of your ugliness and how fucked up you are as a people. And the more you keep doing fucked up shit, it don't make you better. It don't make you better because your friends cover it up for you in the United States Justice Department. Why are citizens calling the United States Justice Department and complaining about local police departments that's failing them, that's neglecting them, that's not doing anything to protect them, and then it's going a step further? When the police is allowing people to break inside of people's homes, that's sending a message. When the police is taking your transportation, when the police has created a situation where you cannot even drive because they know if they create a situation where they take your car, and they have this conspiracy, all this stuff set up with DMV. And none of them abide by any of the laws in regard to the citizens. They are just abiding by their corporate laws, their federal funding laws, and the bullshit that bounces back on for their benefit. So when you start saying, wait a minute, why didn't you inform me about my car? Nobody had to send me a letter. DMV. Why do these people have authority for me to have to share 6 pieces of my documentation with these people? They're not even a fucking federal agency, for one. They're a monitoring service, not in the public's interest. Okay? There's really no benefit to fucking with DMV other than to be tracked by a government that hates you. And I don't believe in that. And when a citizen is just trying to do the right thing, which is what I do. You say we have to have a driver's license, so I go and I partake in your bullshit. I don't believe in it. But I do it because I know that you're so fucking delusional. You want so much control over people, and you think people must do what you want to do. And you sit there so confused and call about 10, 12 people on one person because you don't know your job and you have no fucking comprehension. I am so angry at all of the white lies, the white terror, the white domestic terror that has never stopped. You people have gotten more sophisticated and clever with the way you work the paperwork and working these legal systems to your benefit, to steal from people and to deprive people the due process, deprive them of their property and to deprive them of justice. Because in the judge, you got a white judge that don't even speak the language, or you got a black or a mixed or immigrant judge that does not know anything about interpreting your experience or speaking your language, nor the circumstances that you've been subjected to because they've been living in a fantasy of a world. Because any black people who act just like white people will laugh at their jokes and entertain them. I had a best friend like that. Oh, they love people like that. Oh, they love a fucking clowning ass entertaining nigga. I don't ever want to be that. Okay? I'm an experience. Okay? There's a fucking difference. Okay? I'm nobody's clown and I'm no one's joker. You better learn your history. Okay? Now I don't pick on anybody. Now, I don't like really anybody. So no one likes me. One thing I'm not going to tolerate and I'm not going to be quiet about and I'm going to keep saying something about is you stealing, taking my license from me and inducing all these harmful circumstances to me and these children and depriving us of being able to have a right to live my life and criminalizing me for no fucking reason. You criminalize me. I could have been broke the law by myself. I could have been went upside some motherfucker by the head. I could have whooped the fucking sheriff's ass to start some shit when that fucking bitch was saying and showing drugs in front of my fucking kids. You don't have the right to just think you can do anything you want to people because you got a fucking position. Everybody don't give a fuck about that position. You're gonna fuck with a person at the wrong fucking time, and you're gonna be really fucking crying like that person was crying, but you're gonna be crying worser. Just a humiliating, embarrassing, imbecilic culture of people who has to earn respect. No one has to give these motherfuckers no respect. They ain't earned nothing. You can't undo everything that others have contributed to a society, not even just for their group of people, but for all people. And you go and undo it, and you give gratuity to a motherfucker ghost who come in just to undo. This motherfucker ain't got nothing to contribute. He ain't even got answers to contribute. This motherfucker golfs and hates, causes rallies, incites war, induces riots, and that's it. And charges the